Just stop.
Doesn't work.
Just stop.
Doesn't work for shit. There we go. So we put Time Couch up on YouTube 360 a few days back now, and I posted a comment there asking questions about it. Most of those questions are about 360 video. So I'm actually gonna make so much so that I'm gonna make a separate video about kind of taking you guys through the basics of 360 video, how to get started. You'll find disappointingly there's a lot of technology doesn't exist for it yet, so it's a little bit difficult to get into, but we'll get into that. For Time Couch, I wanted to tell you guys a bit about this one because this is wasn't really intended to be a video at all in the first place. We made it kind of as a test for like a VR type of experience. I think. Bandit, what are you looking for? Can I do something for you?
I want the ball.
You want the ball? Here, let me help you, and then allow us to get on with our video. How's that sound? What a bitch. You guys recognize Kevin. We've been doing VFX together for a couple of years now, and kept getting more and more interested in virtual reality and game development, and really kind of had this idea that filmmaking, VFX, and game development are all merging into one thing, and they keep crossing paths more and more, and knowing both disciplines is more and more important. So about a year ago now, we decided we're like, you know what, let's just learn how to make games as well, kind of make sure that we have that covered. And so Kevin was awesome enough to be like, sweet, let's do it, and pretty much just started teaching himself Unity from the ground up. Very much, you can never have tunnel vision in terms of like, this is what I do, this is what I'm good at, and this is the program I'm gonna work in. You can't just like be like, I'm gonna learn Photoshop and work in Photoshop for the rest of my life, and that's all I'm gonna do. At this point, you have to be open to learning all kinds of software. Never be afraid to open up a new program and just start diving in.
As long as you understand 3D and the basics that go into it, moving to another thing really isn't that difficult.
We've talked a lot on this channel about VFX and how to do various things in 3ds Max. Unity is a game engine that's quite easy to get into in terms of there's a lot of asset store support, a lot of tutorial support. So if you're interested in doing anything game-wise, I'd recommend. There's actually, 3 engines at GDC were just announced to be free. Unity's free, Unreal 4 is free, and Source 2, whenever it eventually comes out, is going to be free as well. Because we built the entire scene in 3D, and we'll get into live action filmed 360 video stuff as well, because we have a lot of that coming on the way. But since this is a fully built environment, it was pretty simple to actually get a 360 out. It's just a matter of figuring out how to screen cap something and having it render in the full equirectangular full 360 view. A VR rig in a game is essentially just 2 cameras right next to each other. Oculus makes one that you can pretty much just drag and drop into any Unity scene file to get started with. Essentially, we were testing a lot of different things with it. Basically, photo scanning an alleyway and a bunch of alleyways to piece together different geometries to try to reduce the workload in texturing and creating the geometry for something, and just kind of experiment with that stuff. Cameron did most of the photo scanning along with Kevin throughout this piece, taking all the photos and putting it together.
So basically the process is that I just go around in a circle around the subject and take pairs of photos. Photoscan does a lot better when you have duplicate images, just slightly offset. That way when it's looking for points of contrast to drop points on, it has a photo that's very similar to it to compare it to. I could probably scan this entire bike in maybe 50 or 60 shots if I had to. This time I'll probably do maybe 100 or 200 photos, just so that later on we have a really high resolution model to use if we decide that we want to use it in anything other than a mobile game.
All right, so you can kind of fly around the scene here, kind of look at various things. You guys can notice that there's more detail wherever. The interesting thing about photo scanning is whatever you get more detail stitching together, that geometry is what comes out. So you kind of have to think of the path you want something to go through, and it's more difficult than you ever think to actually fully, you think you've taken a picture of everything, but you actually, there's lots of holes and stuff, so cleanup that needs to be done afterwards. You can see the stairs, as various, you can kind of piece out where the position the camera is actually taking the photos from as you go through it. Whoa, whoa, look at that. Ready?
So another cool thing is that this body is completely IK rigged, so it actually moves along with you.
Here it comes. Cops come in. Boom. Oh, car starts to go. Knocks that over. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Doesn't this look like the wacky future of VR that you're hoping for? We're gonna make sure that the wacky future of VR definitely happens. As you guys know from the videos we've created over the years, we always kind of like to take an absurdist kind of look at the world and try to let things be a little more fun. This, I guess, is a bit of a reaction to a lot of the content that comes out, that we've seen coming out in virtual reality, always takes itself so seriously. Everything is so like, it's supposed to be like it's just so important. And so like, let's just make something that's the opposite, that's effectively like almost a borderline stoner comedy of a 2-minute long thing. And so we're like, what would the build, what would the Dude Where's My Car equivalent be? So we're like, okay, we swap a footage of a car chase out to see that you have, instead it's a red flying couch. And then, oh, it turns out that that's you from the future and you've robbed the bank and the cops are chasing you. And then, oh, they come behind, but now they think it's you, so you better run from the cops too. Take a, and then just go from there and have the cops be after you. It's just, it makes no sense. It's ridiculous. And now we've rolled it on the YouTube thing. I guess if there's one thing we could kind of leave YouTube and online video with, it's that you can never take yourself too seriously, and just make sure you have fun with it, even if it is something that is technologically not been done before. So I like the little statement that the first 360 video ever uploaded to YouTube was pretty much just a borderline stoner comedy.
Hey, you gotta train for your stunts. Ready? Kick. Just right over it. The girl, she's not learning. Come on, Bennett. She's gonna learn. She's a good girl. Bennett, kick. Bennett, kick.
Close. She's gonna get there. Don't you worry, guys. So yeah, expect many more things coming out on the channel, both behind the scenes as well as pieces of content for you to watch. If you're considering being an early adopter of VR and you're a fan of the stuff we do around here, I strongly suggest being an early adopter of VR, because pretty much everything we do is going to be ideally viewed in VR going forward, just because it's so much fun to make. And we've been doing a lot of live streams recently as well around the office. Stay tuned to the Twitch channel if you want to kind of see just day to day what we're doing around here. And yeah, expect more craziness in the near future.